Consultancy's Boom podcast. Thank you for coming on and listening to us today. We are here with an incredible recent client, Lawrence Copeland, who's going to share his journey and his experience with Atomic Consultancy. This podcast is all about sharing real business owners, real sellers, and their experience of selling their business. Now, I shouldn't say this, but Lawrence is probably one of our favourite Atomic clients ever. We have absolutely loved working with you and your partner Liz. But before we start, there's two other stars of the show that we've never actually physically met. But what are your pets, Lawrence? This is the far more important thing than anything else we're going to talk about today.
Dingo and Deck.
And who are Dingo and Deck?
Dingo and Deck are the two alpacas that we now have as part of my retirement, and they form the daily routine twice a day, fighting, running around. They are pets, and they keep us very, very busy.
And throughout the sale, we used to get regular photos of Dingo and Deck.
Yes, as they grow. Yes.
Which we at Atomic absolutely love.
Yes. Yeah.
So just talk through in terms of the business. You had Lawrence Copeland for over 20 years. Estate agency and lettings. You were mainly focused on estate agency and then moved to lettings. So what made you start back in 2002? Where did that journey start?
Well, if you take it back to when I first started, which was when I was 18, and I had finished college, and I joined as an apprentice to chartered surveyors in Worsley, Swinton.
Okay.
And I was there 5 years, and eventually then I trotted to the other side of Manchester, South Manchester, and joined a family firm called Burlings, which soon became Burling Morrison. And then very, very quickly, all the big corporates came in. Burling's got consumed by Lloyd's.
Okay.
Morrison's got consumed by Halifax, and I was then working for Black Horse Agencies.
Right.
Burling's as it was known, and we're now going back now, sort of starting there at 1978, and then we're now in Burling's Black Horse, middle to late 80s, and I therefore sort of was doing Stockport office, Cheadle Hulme office, Bramwell office, which was one of my favourites, and then unfortunately Lloyd's wanted to have another rebrand, so they sold Burlings to the Bradford and Bingley, and
wow.
It became Bradford and Bingley Burlings.
It was actually the name, Bradford Burling.
Bradford and Bingley Burlings, yes.
Oh dear, that's a tongue twister.
Yeah. So I got to so far, we're sort of late 90s.
So you've gone through quite a lot of acquisitions yourself in a way then, as an employee.
Yeah, but I wasn't really. I just continued to do the work, run the branches, and it just became too corporate. I can remember the day they said you won't need a secretary anymore, and that was like,
yeah,
because I love my secretary.
Yeah. To do your work, Lawrence.
To do my work,
yeah.
And to bounce off and to banter and all that sort of thing. And I thought the idea of actually having a central pooling type and that type of thing was a big change for me. So in 2002, I got the opportunity through the family with an existing limited company which had been around since 1972.
And that was your mum's business?
That was my mum's business. It originally was a ladies' dress shop, and eventually she retired. She's now 88. Wow. And we decided we could open another arm under what it was called at the time, which was Albon Mill Limited. And I launched my own office, Lawrence Copeland Town and City Centre, right in the heart of the city centre on Brasenose Street, just off Albert Square.
Yeah, no.
Right opposite Bridgeford's, Robert Jordan's. There wasn't many. Oh, we had Julie Twist as well in town. There was only 600 people living in town when I first started.
Oh my God.
But man, that was going back to, yeah. I forgot to mention the connection here is my last office for Bradford and Bingley Burlings was in 1991. I opened it in my hometown of Sale, and I started to experiment in city centre from Sale.
Right, okay.
And there was only literally one other estate agent who was in city centre, and that was Julie Twist.
Right.
So as you have your normal sort of sections, you can't sort of open into new areas within a certain period of time. This was 6 miles down the road, away from the Sale market, so I was able to sort of launch my office there in competition with probably around about, I think it was another 5 or 6 other estate agents, very, very few nationals. I think Chestertons were there, Suttons, literally about 5 or 6 estate agents now, but there's probably around about, I don't know, 40.
Yeah. And a lot more than 600 people.
Oh, thousands and thousands and thousands. Yeah. And that was a very, very proud moment for myself.
And how did that journey, so you set up in 1992 and then obviously have recently sold in 2025, and you the office that you, when we sold, you were then back out in Sale, weren't you?
Yeah. No, I wasn't. What had actually happened is the recession, which was 2008, 2009, really, I mean, it was a 5 years of an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
So I decided to change the being on sort of a massive overheads, big shop front in the city centre, and then open in Salford Quays, which is one of the areas which I've developed over the years. From there, I just continued to do the business basically, without a shop front, based on reputation, and a lot of people knew me because, if you remember, obviously I've been doing a lot of the properties since 1991.
It's quite a big move. A lot of people now are in serviced offices, like we're in serviced offices.
Yeah.
But for at that point, it was quite still traditional agency. There was still quite a lot of the newspapers, so that was quite a big move for you too.
Yeah, it was at the time, but now looking back at it,
Best thing you did.
I think it is definitely the best thing I did. Looking at how, for example, Manchester's going now, you can't even park outside the estate agents on Deansgate now. It's all cycle tracks and things like that. So this window shopping, and it's more the marketing.
I used to work on Deansgate for Hunter's Estate Agents.
That's right, you did, yes.
So yeah, I remember it.
Yes.
Yeah.
In that very, very big flash office.
Ridiculous little big, yeah. A baseball bail once came in and handed me his dog because he wanted to go next door to Harvey Nicks and he wasn't allowed to take the dog inside, and they just handed me this like pathetic, small. I'm not into small dogs.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was definitely an experience coming from North Yorkshire and working in the centre of Manchester.
Yeah.
It was different experience.
But it's changed so much as well now.
Yeah.
Interesting enough, I rarely go back into
business. I bet you don't.
Yeah.
But one of the great things about your business as well is you had some people that had stayed with you for a long time.
Yes.
You had some really loyal staff, didn't you? How do you think you managed to do that? Because that is one of the difficulties that a lot of business owners face, is retaining good staff.
I had, when my last part of the corporate era, which was Bradford and Bingley Burlings in Sale, which was 91, I obviously had a team of people there, and I had one young lady who started as a YTS apprentice. She was 17, and there was another lady, Andrea, who was my sales manager, or sales negotiator, and when I moved, they sort of basically came over, because at the time wait for it, Bradford and Bingley were then into Beresford Adams. So there's a lot of changes. So 2 or 3 of them came over to work with me, and we just had a fantastic rapport over the years. And it's all for me, it's all to do with not only are they my team members, but they're also my friends.
Yeah.
And you have your ups and your downs and your things like that, but they were very, very loyal right through the recession, to moving to Salford Quays, to changes there, and hopefully it's that they appreciated the flexibility that I gave them.
Yeah.
I wasn't into targets. I didn't know, as far as I was concerned, I'm not a target man. I used to just go out and do work, basically. Yeah. Everything was done together as a team, but everybody had different roles.
Yeah. So what made you, what was the light bulb moment for when you thought, right, this is it, this is the time, I need to go now?
Well, there was a few things within the things. I had a plan, and the plan initially was to get rid of the premises, which was the rental premises within Elbow Mill Limited. Thinking ahead of tax implications, my mum who's getting older and things like that. Then the next thing was to also move house, because I'd had enough of living in Sale since I was born. And the final key was selling the business, clearing most of my overheads, or the big overheads that I had, and to have a completely new life. My wife had retired 3 years before that. She was a deputy head in Timperley, and she'd been at the school 38 years.
Wow.
So I wanted to spend time, and just really 47 years, literally.
Wow.
You get...
I'm not even 47 now. Just
47 years of doing it, I'm afraid, does take its toll eventually. I was still doing viewings on the streets, literally just before I sold the business, and the aches of the arthritis.
Don't be that.
No, seriously.
You've got you alpacas now.
No. And the various ailments, high blood pressure.
Well, it was quite stressful at times, wasn't it? And
was.
I think all sales, there's always pinch points.
Yes.
But when you made that decision, how did you hear about Atomic? Why did you go with us? What was...
So I think the first thing was that I received a leaflet from you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure exactly how that came, and I put it together with all the other leaflets that I'd received about Elbow Mill. We'll buy your business, we'll do this, we'll do that. I had a big file of all these things, and then the next, but then I literally just put it aside and said, well, okay, what we want to be doing is early 2024 to probably sell the business. As such, that was my plan, activity type of thing. I also had a very, very nice young lad who was working for me, and he'd been with me for 5 to 6 years, and he was starting to really get to a stage where I was hoping I might be able to sort of delegate a bit more and take a bit more of an easier. Unfortunately, he went back to Nottingham.
Oh no!
To the family business, so it made me sort of really think, where am I going? And then I noticed on a CPD course for Property Mark that you were speaking as one of the main things, and I thought, right, okay, I think I'm going to go and do the CPD, which I have to do.
Yeah. So did you come onto one of the training webinars?
I went to the main CPD for Property Mark that was in Manchester at the time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and you were speaking about selling businesses.
Yeah.
And I turned up. You knew actually I was coming at that stage because we'd already had chats about it.
But normally people don't like coming up to talk to me because they don't want people to know that they're thinking of selling.
No, exactly.
I get that. I get text messages of people saying, I'm not being rude, but...
Yeah. So, that was the decision. I don't think I'd had anything else from anybody else. I had approaches from various different companies in the run-up to me making the decision, which I won't obviously give names of, and they were all at the wrong time. You know, for example, Lawrence, you know, we can do this, we can buy this, you can work for us, you can do this, you can do that. I didn't want to work for anybody else. That would be like going back in time. The shop had so basically it was all down to timing, and I got this leaflet from you see, which worked. It looked very interesting.
Good.
And I was very, very impressed. I felt even at the seminar, the Property Mark seminar, that you just talk through everything, how it was going to be, and that actually made it work for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Once we packaged up the business for sale and we went to market, it was quite an exciting time, isn't it? Because you then you go on a bit of a beauty parade, don't you? And you met with we had a lot of interest in your business because of how great and well established it was and the location.
Yeah.
How did you find that meeting all the buyers?
I thought it was quite. I was a little bit sort of nervous, but then I'd obviously had sort of these meets up with these previous agents and businesses who'd approached me previously. The main thing for me was nobody saw me going in or going out, because everything is so cliquey. You just don't know who you're going to sort of bump into, type of thing. They were all very, very nice. Different sort of vibes. I could see the corporate, which had been approached for, previously, to the independent, and then we went from there, really.
Yeah,
didn't we?
And we generated a significant amount of offers, didn't we?
Yes.
Which allowed us to go over guide price and broker a fantastic deal for you. It's my favourite part of the job is the brokering.
Yes.
Love doing the deal.
I think for to do. I mean, it was daunting for me because I'd never sold a business before. I'd heard people who had done it and they'd actually said to me, "Oh, it's an absolute nightmare. You're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing this, you're doing that." And I'm thinking the biggest worry for me is my staff mustn't know,
Yeah.
And a lot of people might have had a different thought about, well, forget the staff. It's you're doing whatever. But for me, it was a balance of getting, doing the right thing for me and also for my staff.
Yeah.
So what, the whole process of dealing with the whole thing was, I just felt it was a weight off my shoulders, really.
And you appointed a great solicitor, which I think really does help support a transaction.
Yes.
If you've got the right team. So you had us as the A team on the brokering and the project management side, but you did have a brilliant solicitor, didn't you? And I think that really did help.
I did, and I was lucky because a relatively new connection, but we dealt with the sale of the property within Elbermill before, obviously, so had a fantastic experience with that solicitor and how fast it was and thorough and everything. And then again, obviously, was then going to deal with the main senior partner. And they were fantastic.
Yeah.
And the great thing is they work fantastic with you.
Yeah.
And you built a relationship with them.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that was the whole thing about having Atomic and the solicitor there to sort of just see it through.
Yeah, if we can work with solicitors, we're here to help support and get a transaction through.
Yes.
So if we can work together, it just, we're here to be that conduit, but also there's commercial conversations to have.
Yes.
And also speak in layman terms sometimes, because while solicitors do try and explain things, they can make it sometimes a bit more complicated than it needs to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, having that, you know, the solicitor saying, look, can you just try and chase this, or
Yeah.
I'm not hearing from what something from the other side. Can we
Yeah.
do something else?
I mean, I'm not sure whether they had dealt with any previous estate agency
they had
businesses,
yeah.
but you knew so much that you gave them the guidance as well.
Yeah, sometimes.
And controlled it. Yeah.
Do you remember the phrase that we used to have when we went on a few calls? Do you remember? It was a no from Noonan. Do you remember?
No, I mean, go on.
So when we were going through sometimes purchase agreements, something that I
Yes.
say is, if there's something I disagree with, or I'm saying no, absolutely not, it's a no from Noonan,
Yeah.
and it's just like, no, that's it.
Yes.
And then I explain why it's a no from Noonan, but it's
Yeah.
but yeah, after you've done a few, you know, you kind of know. So
Yeah. Well, that was the great thing for me, and also, you know, you knew exactly what it should be, where it should, and you gave me the advice. And you know, I was really sort of in the hands of yourself and the solicitors, but I felt completely.
The day of
cool
completion
about
was
that.
quite emotional, wasn't it? There was a lot going on the day of completion.
It was a bit
I
of a
remember
nightmare.
your partner, your wife Liz, ringing me. I think it was about, because we didn't complete till about 9 o'clock at night.
Well, imagine that I'm still doing viewings on the day of completion.
Yeah.
And imagine that I'm on the way to the lawyers, having done my last viewing of the day, and we start diddly with the negotiations, and I'm in the car on the way to the lawyers,
Yeah.
and the lawyer's speaking to me, you're speaking to me, and yeah, I could have had a crash.
Yeah, it was quite stressful, but we got there. We got there.
Yeah.
So for people that are listening, and obviously a lot of the listeners are looking at exits and will be probably in a very similar situation to you, looking to retire. Is there anything that you would say, looking back on what you've done, that you'd?
Well, I think first of all, don't do it yourself. Go through an agent, because you know thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds you could lose if you get it wrong. I mean, there are lots and lots. A lot of the agents do this direct approach, and I thought initially, going back maybe 5 years ago when some of them contacted me, that would be the way I would go when he eventually sold the business. That I would contact one of those agents that approached me, the one that I felt more comfortable with, but that I think would have been totally the wrong thing to do. So I think you 100% go for the agent. The agent, you knew how to present everything really, which was great, and you gave me the guidance through, and then that was it really for me.
Yeah.
So the fact that we hadn't actually physically met.
This is the first time today.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
I did see you at the calls.
Yeah,
but
no.
I didn't let on.
No. No, we were just gutted that we weren't able to meet the alpacas, but
Well,
yeah.
they're still there. They live 15 to 20 years.
Oh, do they?
So yeah, you can come up any time if you're in Manchester. And,
Well, don't tell that to Laura, because Laura will definitely be there
coming,
with
yes.
the alpacas.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much
That's all
for
right.
taking the time to come and
Yes.
see us. It's been fantastic, and to meet you and support you through. So now you're looking after the alpacas. How is it now, 2-3 months on from completion?
I'm just starting now to sort of try to get myself into a sort. I think the biggest thing is when you're doing that literally 47 years, just non-stop, and then all of a sudden you stop. There's a lot of people sort of said to me, "Oh, you'll be bored. You'll be doing." I haven't really got a minute of the day. I'm visiting my mum. I'm doing this. I've got the grandchildren. I've got bits and pieces I'm doing on the house. So the week just flies by. I don't even know what day Saturday and Sunday are, because they sort of merge into everything. Maybe the next thing is hopefully I'll start maybe to go and visit a few places, settle it all down. But certainly people sort of say, well, do you want to do any consultancy? I've still got clients ringing me. I know you're retired, but can you give me some advice?
Yeah.
And I said, well, I'm here for certain people.
Yeah.
So if you're ever uncertain about anything, by all means give me a ring,
Yeah.
and I'll try to guide you.
Yeah, it's one of the things I absolutely love about what we do,
Yes.
is being able to, because we do keep in contact with a lot of our clients, Pastor, to support them through to that next journey, and to see actually, you know, that you say you don't know what day it is, but you're having a great time and you're spending time now with your family, and you're doing those things it is fantastic. It's one of the big things for us that I think why I love doing acquisitions so much is that. So well, should we go and get some lunch?
Yes, that'd be very nice.
Well, thank you so much for listening today. And Lawrence Copeland, a brilliant lettings and estate agency business in Manchester, hearing all about his journey. If you would like to be kept informed of more of our podcast episodes, please do click the link and follow. And we look forward to seeing you on the next Boom podcast.